What's up, and welcome to episode 70 of How Not to Summon a Podcast. I'm Shinny Senpai, and this week I'm joined by the man who wants his own bunny girl, Jim.
Yeah, I do.
And that guy who would let Yui suck all day long, Grayson.
What? What's up, Scooby Gang?
And this week we are doing episode 1 to 6 of the anime Arifureta.
She's 100 years old at least, alright?
So we'll jump in with the genre of Arifureta. I don't know if I'm massacring the name of this, by the way. I just call it Arifureta.
You do remember
there's a U in there somewhere.
Might be Arifureta.
Arifureta? Arifureta?
Yeah.
You do remember when I tried to explain this and I called it Arifureta, Arifruity?
It's one of those that we've said. So the genre is, it's an isekai, it's a fantasy, and most importantly, it's a harem.
It feels like it's been a long time since we watched a...
I think we sort of banned harems for a little while, didn't we?
we banned isekai,
Yeah.
and we banned harems for a while.
It's just that harems, like, they're the staple of anime watchers.
Yeah.
Especially a male anime watcher, anyway. But we're back on the harem train.
I'm doing anime.
Choo-choo.
So, it was directed by Kinji Yoshimoto. He has done... firstly, Kinji Yoshimoto, he died on the 5th of November 2021, so quite recently, really.
Hell.
So RIP
Sad
for
times.
him. He was better known for doing things like Seven Mortal Sins and things like that, other harems. So that's his standard genre, or was his standard genre. The studio was Asred. We've done them before. Asred did Future Diary and a very big, well-known one called Shuffle as well, if you've ever heard of that. It was huge. There was video games, mobile games, loads.
Nope. But we should watch it if it's huge.
Shuffle was massive. It's very...
If it's harem.
Can you remember the old school animation of like anime girls when they had humongous
The massive
eyes,
Pokemon
massive and
eyes.
pointy chins and stuff like that?
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with that.
What humongous eyes?
We don't get that until episode 6, and I was disappointed, alright?
Hey, you get your bunny girl.
I do.
Yeah.
I got a thing for buddy girls.
Did you like her?
I fucking did.
Brilliant.
He's
So,
absolutely right.
voice cast. Hajime, our main protagonist, is voiced by Matt Shipman.
I recognise this voice.
So, yeah, he's Floch in AOT.
Attack on Titan,
Floch.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who rode into combat and was like,
Redhead.
"We're gonna die."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
him.
recognise this
who
voice.
plays a massive role later on in AOT.
Yeah, he does.
And he's also Chrome in Doctor Stone as well, which is one of the main characters in Doctor Stone as well. Then we go on to Yu, voiced by Tia Ballard. We've had Tia Ballard before.
Yep.
Happy from Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, things like that. And lastly is Shea, the bunny girl, voiced by Amanda Lee. She is now better known for being Marin in My Dress Up Darling, which is a...
Apparently it's great.
It's a brand new anime, just been dubbed, and its reviews are phenomenal. I haven't actually seen it yet because it's only just been dubbed.
Reviews on what? Because we don't trust reviews. That's why we're here.
Among the anime community, My Dress Up Darling has been very well received. It's a romance that involves fashion.
I have seen a lot of good reviews for it. I think it definitely should be.
But that'll be
one to watch.
what she's now known for.
There
rather
was
than
good
this.
reviews for the fucking dance bund thing that we did. Let's not forget that.
There are never anything.
Dancing
there
the
are-
blood bund. That one.
There are never anything but good reviews for everything. We've already said that like there's nothing under a 5.
Oh, speaking of, I want to announce one thing. Top Gun has opened with a 100% critic review on Rotten Tomato.
I don't like Top Gun.
What? What are you, straight or something?
I am so not into fighter jets.
What?
Because they're just boring.
No, they're not.
They're so boring.
No, they're not.
Car chase scenes and fighter jet scenes, boring.
But cars.
Car chase scenes bore me. I skip through them.
Do you just get up
no.
in the middle of like
Not for me.
a movie and go, not for me?
Cup of tea time. I'm putting the kettle on.
Yeah, that is
We're
my
back.
toilet break right there. Oh, it's a chase scene, is there? Well, we know
You
what's going to
must
happen.
love the Fast and Furious.
I
James
fucking
Bond.
have never seen the Fast and Furious.
What? Any of them?
Never seen them.
Any?
I've attempted, and that's it.
Hold on.
That's
You drive-
You shit
No,
on me.
your car says that you at least like cars a little bit because you drive a fucking boy racer dick extension ST.
You
Which
you both shit on me for not watching anything like that, but he always sits there nodding his head along to it, going, "Yes, I too listen to hip hop." And you're like,
La Familia.
Familiar.
La
Oh, he's
Familia.
quoting TikTok. That's the only reason he knows that.
That's what I mean.
And his name's Dom. That's all I know.
Yeah,
That's
correct. Dom Toretto.
Yeah, cool.
Paul
I too
Walker.
know his last name.
I do know his name.
Anyway,
Cuz.
should we dive into episode 1?
No, my Rocket
Oh
League.
no, apparently not.
My Rocket League, I drive his Skyline, and my tag says "Tuna No Crust."
Okay, cool.
That's a quote from Fast and Furious.
That's very
Yeah,
good.
but if I hadn't have asked you that,
I'm
he
glad.
would have never known.
I'm glad that when we play people, they go, "Oh, that's the Fast and Furious guy."
They do.
No, they
do.
always go, "There's a fucking car again."
Of course, I'm a Fast and Furious guy. I drive a BMW.
He's furious because it breaks all the time.
This one has not broken. It's my third one, but it's not broken. All right.
Third time's the charm.
It's a soft.
Have we
top.
got some reviews for this?
It is.
Yeah,
Ratings. Have we got some ratings for this anime?
I might have neglected my duties of searching up ratings.
I knew you were about to push through, and I was like, "No, I want to hear these ratings."
Let's.
Should we have a brief intermission while we look it up?
I believe we've got a soundtrack for that. I've got an IMDb rating.
I thought we had the nerd one as well.
The nerd one.
I love the fact he's calling anime watchers nerds. He watches anime and does a podcast on anime.
Fucking nerds.
I know because I'm one of you.
Slaps books out of my own hand.
Rotten Tomatoes has not got a rating for it,
Ah, see, now we got to go to the nerd planet.
but I can still give us 2 ratings. All right.
It's called Anime Planet. but
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
IMDb. Oh, I get to play this role. Have a guess.
8 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10.
A 7.1.
That's disappointing. It's disappointing.
8.5 or a riot.
That is like I low scored it with an 8 out of 10. I feel I'm disappointed.
And this one is my anime list out of 10.
By anime fans.
This is anime fans.
8.2.
8.5. I'm sticking with it.
6.7.
Oh, ugh, get out. Anime fans who reviewed this, get the
We've
fuck
ruined
out.
this already again. They know what we like this. We've done it again.
Get the fuck out. You don't know that.
Stay
No,
tuned for more.
Stay tuned.
There's a whole second fucking part. Might only like the first 6
Hold on,
episodes.
let me drink my mead.
Yes, I bought mead for everybody.
He genuinely did.
Google it if you don't know what it is.
We're not nerds.
Should we go into episode 1?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
okay.
After you've ruined
Episode-
this. Absolutely
Ruined it.
ruined
The anime community ruined it. Episode 1, it opens with our main protagonist, Hajime. He's laying on the ground. He is in the bottom of what we learn to be, well, not the bottom of, but he's on the floor deep down in what is a labyrinth. And while laying on the floor in the labyrinth, he says to himself that he needs to get back up, to climb up to the top of the labyrinth again. As he's wandering around in this pit that he's in, he is like, oh, I thought there'd be like much scarier monsters down here. I'm so far down. And he comes across a little rabbit and he's like, but this is just a rabbit. Like, I thought that it was going to be scary down here.
This was really funny because all I ever thought about was Monty Python, the Holy Grail, when this happened with the rabbit.
This
So-
one's a little bit bigger than a plushie.
Just a little bit.
So a bunch of wolves come along and go to attack the rabbit, and it's got like kickboxing moves.
It's got Hitmonlee. fucking
Literally,
moves
this
with it.
rabbit
All
destroys
of
these
monsters
wolves.
have this same move. They just fire some fucking light boomerang at you and call it a day.
Well, each monster has a specific skill.
yeah.
So the wolves have like lightning field.
Can I say something controversial?
Yes.
Episode 1 fucking sucked.
Did you not like
It
it?
was shit.
I loved his.
Episode
Descent.
3 onwards,
Yeah, I liked it.
it wasn't the descent and everything. I get
Yeah.
what they tried to do, but rather than just go, here's how I like do that and have the
Would
fall
you
and
rather just a
everything else.
flashback?
No, just something that was a bit more fucking linear. So have him do the fall and everything like episode 1,
Yeah.
and then when he's in his hole and when he goes, "How did I get here?" There's like 3 different flashbacks at 3 different fucking times in the episode.
I get what you mean.
I would
no,
rather
okay.
that
Yeah,
as
yeah.
just one thing.
I get
Yeah,
what you
no,
mean.
no.
You know,
They
how
recall
did I
it, don't
get-
they,
yeah.
constantly?
Instead of being like, "How did I get here?" and then, "Oh, I came from another planet and fucking I here, we got turned into heroes, and I went into a dungeon.
They don't-
And someone hit me.
They don't
instead.
address the whole
Yeah, they
transferred into the world,
Which I
very
love.
We're
well.
used to it now. Do we really
Yeah,
need to?
no, absolutely not. The class got transferred. End
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
That's you know,
That's
you get
it.
the gist of
That's
it. You
it.
don't need any more.
They explain everything we need to know. It's
Oh,
just that
absolutely.
they split it up across 2 episodes for like 3 or 4 different flashbacks. Just make that one thing. That's it.
So
Yeah, no, I get that.
Your problem isn't with the actual episode. Your problem is with the
It ruins the episode.
staging of it.
Yeah,
Like,
it ruins the episode because the pacing is all over the place. It goes from monster to flashback, monster to flashback, monster to flashback, problem to flashback. It's like,
No,
stop.
granted, yes, it does. Yeah.
Stop.
You
Just
mean
fucking-
just one flashback? This
Yeah,
is how we
one
fell.
flashback, done.
Done.
I'll give you that.
Get it
I'll
done.
give you that.
Doesn't ruin the show, but
A few,
it ruins
a few
the
of the
episode.
flashbacks are from other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
Which is, I suppose, a way of doing it. If
think-
you're going to keep going back, you're doing it from different points of view. That
think-
kind of is okay.
They're trying to present the main characters at that point, aren't they? The main protagonists of this story.
I don't know. I
Sort
think you are right in the fact that once you've seen him fall once, you don't need to see him fall again and again
Yeah.
and again.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. No,
None
I
of us
agree.
watched episode 5.5, did we?
No.
Fucking.
There's a
Was that not
5.5?
just? Was that not just a
Flashback.
throwback to where?
Flashback,
Yeah,
it was like-
I skipped straight
Yep.
past it because I knew what it would be.
Yeah.
Because the slime one does that quite a lot as well. Keeps giving you flashback episodes that you just do not need. To all anime makers out there, we don't need flashback
No.
episodes.
No.
We are
A new
following
season.
your story.
Yes,
A new
the
season,
reason is we're
give it a
fucking
flashback.
watching it. We're watching the fucking thing. You don't need a flashback episode of 5.5 or a 6.6.
A 0.5, I'll accept as if you want to know what happens or a catch up. Here's 30 minutes of fucking
Yes.
flashbacks from season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a
here's
good
episode
one.
of
Yeah.
fucking 1 episode of season 2. Do it before, but not in the middle of a fucking season.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
watching. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
absolutely. Yeah, literally for episode after episode 5. Like, I've forgotten everything that happened in 5 episodes. So, going back, the bunny, it kills the wolves, turns on Hajime. Just as it's about to attack him, the giant bear monster turns up, kills the rabbit, he screams, turns on him. Did you expect it to go so extreme so fast?
No.
So
No,
the
I'll be
bear, the
honest
bear
with
had
you.
like a wind blade attack, didn't it? So like an air slash.
Yeah, it was just a bear claw, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, no, he slashes the air. It's like air slashes. That's how
Fury
he
swipes.
decapitates. Yeah,
It's a
fury swipe. Yeah, fury
it's a
swipes.
fury swipe.
And it cuts off Hajime's left arm. He panics because it's coming at him, and he uses his skill that we see, which is called transmute. And I guess he can alter material and substances around him. So he transmutes his way through the stone behind him and tries to tunnel himself away from the bear. Eventually he gets away and he loses consciousness because of a lack of blood, and he blacks out. Wakes up in a pool, and above the pool is a giant crystal, and they give you a quick explanation of it.
I
It's
like
a
the
it's a
crystal.
holy, yeah, it's a holy crystal, and the liquid from the holy crystal that it secretes can heal and dispel any sort of injuries or spells. Luckily for him, he fell into it, and it's healed him.
It's the only reason he's still alive, isn't it?
Yes.
Because he says, "Why am I
He
still
solved
alive?"
his problem in the first episode as well. He wants to get out, and he just tunneled through the rock.
Yeah, but you can't tunnel up.
Why not?
Oh,
Why not?
okay. Yeah, kind of, I guess. Unless you run out of mana.
I guess so, but
And then if you run out of mana and something comes out of the fucking rock,
I
you're
say
dead.
mana weird.
Mana.
Mana.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Mana.
What you talking about, Lewis?
So,
Accents, am I right?
we jump 7 days before this incident, and we see Hajime. He's with the rest of his class. They're in the labyrinth, and we get our introduction to one of the other characters, Kaori, who is a classmate of his, and she's a priestess.
I'm surprised you didn't have her voice actor in this as well, because she's quite relevant.
She becomes very relevant after the first season.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that. They're in the labyrinth, and one of the other characters that's in the party, the guy with the spiky red hair, I didn't write his name
Of
down.
course he's a
Clyde.
prick.
The dick,
Wait,
the
no,
dick,
wrong show.
the dick of the group. He sees a crystal and decides that he's going to go and touch it. After being told not to touch it, grabs the crystal and it teleports them all the way down to like floor 65.
Yep, you're right on that one.
And there's a giant bridge in front of them. It's full of skeletons. And at the end of the bridge is a behemoth monster. Kaori is attacked. She's protected by Hajime. All fucking hell breaks loose on this bridge.
I love the way he transmutes it.
He tries to
hold it in
he
place.
tries to protect everybody because he's got this skill where he can pin the monster down. He uses that to help them get further away from it.
I didn't know whether it was just a wording thing or just a translation thing here, but the bit where he's like, "I swear to you," the night guard. The fact that he turns around and he's like, "I swear to you, we'll come back for you." I was like, are you actually leaving him all the way down there? Like, I swear we'll come back to help you.
No, they literally mean we'll get further back and
we'll
then
move
we'll
20 yards
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And then
we'll
come
guard
back,
your
mate.
retreat.
Hold on, why are you doing that? I'm waiting for you to run. It's a sacrifice, you bastard.
This is an on 3 leg it. That's what this
is literally. I'm going to raise my hands and run.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
much.
this is.
Screaming like a little girl.
It jumps back to Hajime down in the hole again, and he's talking to himself, and he's trying to work out how he ended up down there. He's like, why did I fall? What happened? What went wrong? Jumps back to that incident. You see the class all start to fire spells off onto the bridge to help Hajime retreat. And as he runs, what looks like a stray spell flies from the rest of them, strikes him, sends him flying. The bridge collapses and he plummets. And then he says to himself, there's no way that was a stray spell. Somebody directed that at me on purpose.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I know who it was.
Because magic missile don't miss.
Magic missile don't miss.
By the way, I didn't much write it down, but he's attacked on purpose on the bridge, right? Later on, he turns around after becoming as powerful as he does. He turns around and he says, I don't even care about this. That's the first thing I'm dealing with when I get out of that pit.
Yeah.
That is the first thing I'm dealing with.
Bruh, what the fuck?
With his... Are you not confronting this person?
Yeah.
Straight away. In front of everybody.
Yeah. You damn right.
Knowing that you're going to be so much more powerful than them anyway, so it's not like they can do anything about it. But you're not necessarily killing, although they tried to kill you. You're not, you're being the bigger man, and Jay's like, no, revolver, back of the head.
Think about the rabbits.
that is of mice and men joke. If you don't know what it is,
cultural as shit on this show.
Somebody studied English.
Somebody was forced to read Mice and
Watch.
Men.
No, you heard it.
Watch.
You heard it.
Yeah, and watch. I've seen the movie. Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie.
Yeah, thank you.
I've seen the movie. I've not read them.
Think of the rabbits.
Yeah, think of the rabbits.
We jump 9 days back again before they visit the labyrinth. And Hajime is visited by Kaori. She comes to see him and she says to him, don't come with us tomorrow into the labyrinth. I've had a nightmare about us going down there, and I've seen you in like a black pit alone.
She's got divination.
She's got divination.
Skills.
Yes, well, so does the bunny.
It does.
Sort of.
She
can see multiple futures.
Yeah, she's like a Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I thought you meant the rabbit down in the fucking pit. I
No,
was
not
about
the
to say,
decapitated rabbit.
That's a shit
ain't seen
divination.
shit.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's a decapitation.
What he says to her, though, is, don't worry about it. I'm going to come with you. I'll be fine. You can protect me, can't you, Kaori? I mean, they make it very obvious very early on that Kaori likes him.
There's a mistake here. These guys fucking never played any games ever. The healer doesn't protect you. You protect the healer. That's the way that works.
Well, I guess what he's saying is if I get injured, you can help me.
What the fuck is his role in a normal, traditional gaming pie?
Well, he said he's got the worst position ever. He's got this stupid skill, transmute,
He's a scientist.
that he can't...
He's a scientist.
He's an expert.
He is an expert.
He reads a lot of books about the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's your fucking wizard guy.
Where's the tank? We've
he's
got the DPS. We saw them.
the hero.
Hit the hero. Oh, yeah, the one that's called fucking...
Hero.
Class. Where
Well, it's not his
job.
name, but everyone's like, job, hero.
Yeah.
He's
He's
a
supposed to
paladin.
be the tank. He's a paladin.
He is a paladin.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
And then they've got the ninja, the thief.
Yeah. Which is...
Shizuoko.
And also, later, they've got the big guy that's like, I'm going to bull strength this bitch.
Yeah, the guy with gauntlets.
Yeah.
Spiky hand gloves.
Spiky
hand gloves.
Such a better word. So he's more of a support. He can transmute, pin things down.
He's supposed to be like a buff and stuff, I guess, but
Buff and stuff.
Ka-chow. But the healer does that. The healer does a buff as well.
He's there to trap.
Yeah.
He can pin. That's it. That is literally his sole purpose is I can pin them for a little bit.
So he's aggro control.
Yeah.
We've seen Buried Beneath, right?
We don't know his distance as well, like how far ahead he can actually do it, because he seems to have to run in front of everybody on that bridge just to pin the behemoth down.
Yeah, you know what he is. You know why he ran out to the bridge, right? Plot. He wouldn't have fallen if he didn't. He's a backliner that should have been behind. He was out of position. He's the guy you get mad at when the WoW raid fails because he was out of position. He Leroy Jenkins that shit.
He is initially there.
XP.
He is initially there because he has saved Cowrie.
Because he's a prick.
And why is Cowrie out there?
Cowrie's out of position then.
Yes.
Right, it's all on her.
Right, yeah, and the party wiped. That's her fault.
The healer's dead.
God damn it, Cowrie.
It's always the same.
Star got chicken.
Imagine if she said that. We go back to the pit again. He's laying there in the puddle, and he's like,
all right, Cowrie's not that fucking hot.
and he's like, I'm going to survive. He gets angry. He's like, somebody has tried to kill me.
I like this change in personality from wimp
this is fantastic.
To just kind of, it's like a survival instinct.
He's like,
kicked in and took over.
Everything.
It is.
I will survive, and I will do fucking anything in my power to do so, and fuck everyone else.
Anybody else disappointed he didn't have a rock called Wilson? He was carried around.
He got a gun.
That's his last resort as well. He throws that. Wilson, no.
He got a gun called Donna, so I mean that's basically Wilson.
So he has this newfound determination. He's like, I'm going to survive no matter what. I've got water. I need food, and I'm going to eat whatever the fuck is down here to survive.
I don't even know if it's determination. I think it's just spite.
Yeah,
it's just spite.
That falls into determination.
I'm going to live.
Yeah, I think it's just like hatred and everything else rolled up into just, I'll survive so I can fuck them over.
I'm done helping everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in this situation because I tried to help.
Who knew being the good guy didn't work?
And I want to go home, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what it turns into, really.
His sole focus is, I will go home. Fuck this world.
But even, for the first 3 episodes, he doesn't really talk about it. It's, I will fucking get out of here and I will kill anybody or anything I have to do so.
Set a realistic goal. He's like, I can't go home yet until I leave this place. So I've got to leave this place. I can't go up, so I've got to go down.
That's the way that works. If I'm trapped in a cave, you know what? Those miners that were trapped, they should have just gone down. That solves the problem.
If you go down
they had their tools, they could have dug their way out.
If you go down far enough, you'll come out.
Eventually, yeah.
You'll die in a pit of fire.
Toasty, but...
Toasty.
So,
Or you'll find giant mushrooms.
He lures...
Journey to the centre of the earth, bitch!
I knew you were going with that.
Cultured.
Dwayne Johnson.
Cultured.
That man is cultured in a laboratory.
You know what that is? Multicultured.
So he lures and traps a wolf into the... He creates a pit with his transmute skill, drops a load of rocks on it, pins it, and then just spears it with a spear.
This
I
kills
fucking
it.
love that.
He eats the wolf, but unbeknownst to him, monster meat kills you. So he starts to choke and die on this monster food as it goes into his stomach. But to counter that, to counter that, that's just Lee's cooking. To counter that, he drinks holy water. So as it's destroying his stomach, he's healing his stomach straight away,
and develops a new skill. Iron stomach.
And his hair changes to white.
This was so well done, though.
Because the hair to white was unnecessary, but the rest of
it looked awesome.
No, yeah, he looks cooler.
Looks cooler.
Obviously more like a villain, like a badass.
He looks more like the main character. Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
He stands out because he's only white.
All that was for, because the big metal army does fuck all for him.
Let's see, Inspector Gadget.
He has a magical stone as an eye, but we'll come to that. So you see, it shows you like a DNA changing as well. His DNA mutates.
Yeah, because
he becomes
half monster.
Monster.
It's
he becomes a beast.
It's ripping his body apart, but then it's being replaced by the fact that
the holy water is healing,
but
it's using what he's consumed to heal.
Yeah.
So by eating the monster, he levels up, and he says, like, killing them levels you up, but eating them levels you up even faster. It's like a cheat skill. And it also gives him the skills of the wolf, so he gets the electrical
He
magnetic
just discovered
field.
rare candy.
It's like the reincarnated as
Unlimited.
a slime, isn't it?
I was thinking about that when I watched
Yes.
this. I was like, it's like Kirito was the main character in Slime.
Yes,
That's exactly what this show is.
but a more pissed off, broody Kirito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what
It's
it
the
is?
angry,
It's-
stood on the bridge Kirito is
Yes,
what it is.
yes,
that's
that's it,
what
yeah.
it
No,
is.
even better, it's he went with that guild that dies, but actually the guild doesn't
Moonlight
die. He
Cats.
gets trapped inside. He gets pushed in by them instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then he fights his way out of that
Yeah.
room.
But then he can consume and
Yeah.
mutate. He also has a new skill where he can use materials to make weapons now. So his own transmute skill went up,
Yeah.
and he can now see like what certain rocks are and what they can do and what they can transform into. And the first thing he does is he makes a revolver with bullets, and he puts explosive powder in the bullets, so they're explosive bullets.
This was really, really smart. He's like,
You didn't expect him to make a revolver,
Yeah.
did
No.
you?
And for how dumb it is, you kind of just don't mind, do you?
No,
'Cause
I
it's
love it.
fucking
You
awesome.
respect it.
Like, he's just rocking around with the only gun in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I feel like that's actually the smart bit because he's in this world. He's like, well, it's a medieval world, but fuck that. I don't give a shit about that anymore. I'm gonna bring fucking guns to this
Yeah.
world.
And
Because
he brings all sorts of fucking
Yeah.
weapons into it, just from like
'Cause
he,
all
he
the-
makes a fucking car later on.
he makes a fucking
Yeah.
Gatling
Well,
gun.
yeah, when he brings the Hummer.
Full-
That doesn't do anything!
And a fucking Tron bike.
Yeah.
it does. Layer.
No, I was going to say, he
But-
just kind of leaves it in the fucking lair. He just brings it up and like,
No.
that
Oh no
is a
no no
Hummer.
no! That
The
comes
ring.
later. Don't worry.
Yeah, the ring.
Oh, okay.
It
Does it
can
hold it?
Yeah, it holds
It's like a bag of holding.
It's
yeah,
like the Flash's
basically.
ring. Okay.
Pretty much, it'll pop it out.
Eventually,
Yeah, fucking
he
Fran ring does it.
eventually he goes and kills one of the martial art rabbits. Kills them, gets a skill. After eating the rabbit, he gains the skill Iron Stomach, which now means that he can consume monster meat and not die or choke
It
on
doesn't
it or anything.
poison him.
And with the electrical
electric.
magnetic one, he can cook the meat now as well, which he says makes it better. He also gets the rabbit's abilities to sort of
The mid-air. He gets the
Acrobatics.
Mario jump
Yeah.
Mario
The double
jump,
jump.
yeah,
and
Acrobatics
that
as well.
teleportation, that quick move, quick step.
Yep.
I
quick
think
step,
it's called.
yeah. He decides finally it's time to go after the bear. He's got unfinished business with this bear.
I liked this though. Like
Revenge.
we get shown.
Oh, it's the first thing you do when you thought you were powerful
It's the
enough.
revenge. No, I like because in line with his new kind of personality of survival, and
Yeah.
I will fucking kill the guy that got me down here. Revenge is fucking
Yeah.
forefront in his
Paramount.
Yes,
mind.
Yeah.
yes.
This is I fucking love this.
Yeah.
It's well done. This is in character.
Yeah, I think they hold his character
Yeah,
very
it's
well.
really in line with. who
I
he is.
told you as well. I think I said to you when I tried to explain what this was about. It changes the trope of like an isekai massively because it's like
I won't go that far.
well,
I mean,
it does. The guy,
He's an anti-hero, and
Yeah.
it's not very often you get an anti-hero as a
In an
protagonist in an
isekai.
isekai. You usually get that one, the guy who's the hero.
well,
and
literally
that's it.
named after one.
And well, no, he can't help that he was summoned as a demon lord. If you didn't know, we were named after an
not
anime.
canon, not canon.
Anyway,
Ignore that. Ignore that.
we deny it in law. Right, so he goes after the bear. They fight. He launches a flashbang at it,
I love that.
blinds it. He chops its arm off. He eats the bear's arm in front of it, which is fucking brilliant.
It's fucking
That's
great.
how revenge works.
Yeah, and then he electrocutes it because it's standing in a pool of its own blood. He electrocutes it via that. I don't know. Would blood conduct
Yep,
electricity?
it's still a liquid. Yes.
There we go.
There's
Okay.
water in your blood.
So, and then he puts a bullet straight between the bear's eyes. And the episode ends with us seeing, very briefly, Yui for the first time, trapped within a Rubik's Cube.
All right.
But it is.
Is it because one's behind you? Did you see it when you walked in?
Mild. And we go into episode 2. Episode 2 opens with Hajime. He is on his own, still in the labyrinth, and he's eating monster meat. He's drinking the holy water. He's bottled up tons of holy water to take with him. He stores them in
skinned the
bullets.
bear.
I was going to say, they look like bullets.
Yeah, he stores them in bullets.
This is multi-purposing. I like this.
He skinned the bear as well.
And he did,
He
yes.
did skin the bear, and he made an
definitely
outfit.
what you're
That's
doing.
very Monster Hunter. I was a fan.
And this is when he sort of says, I can't find a way up, so I'm going to have to keep going down. And hopefully, if I hit the bottom floor, there'll be a solution to going back to the surface again.
Well, he knows that the story was this is a dungeon.
Yes.
So, like, if you go down, there will be a final level somewhere.
Yes.
So I get where he's on about, and then there will be a way out from there. So it makes more sense than having to go.
They should have played it as him just kind of lost trying to find his way until he found Yui, and then she explains if we go down, there's an answer. With that little story that she tells about.
I think he's just hoping. He's just hoping there's an answer at the bottom of this dungeon. He doesn't know for a fact, although he does know for a fact that there's 100 levels.
If I were anybody else in that situation, would be trying to go up. Literally everybody.
How would you know there's 100 levels?
There's more. There's more than 100.
There's not. He hits level 100.
I thought.
Nope.
I thought he turned round.
100.
I swear later, when they get through, the rest of the crew, they get to level 100, and then they're like, this ain't the end, and then they keep going down.
No, he gets to 100, and then that is it. For some reason, like, it's been passed down through the ages that this labyrinth only has 100 floors.
That's a story and lore, isn't it?
Well, yeah, which he
it's
wouldn't know
and he
until Yui told him. He didn't know about the Mavericks or anything.
No,
until Yui told him.
He knew about the Mavericks, but differently.
No,
they do. They explain it differently.
Because he said, Maverick, what the hell is that? He didn't know.
So it is explained later on about all of this Maverick thing and everything like that. But as far as they're aware, the Mavericks are evil.
Yeah.
They created these dungeons for evil purposes. They were against the gods. They were bad people. And because they couldn't beat the gods, they hid in these labyrinths at the bottom. But the story gets explained later on about them. You see a montage of Hajime next. He's just killing monsters as he's making his way down this labyrinth. He meets the giant lizard that can petrify and things
cool.
like that. Yeah, it's really good.
I wish he'd been able to get the.
But he has a cheat. That holy water just solves everything all the time.
Well, it's a healing potion.
Yeah.
But he's only got a finite amount.
Yeah.
We don't know how much.
He can recreate it.
And the amount that he's got is plot.
Like Legolas's arrows.
However many bullets he could make and store in his bag of holding is the amount of holy water he has.
It is.
Yeah. So, and not just this, but the holy water heals, but it also is water, so he can drink it and consume it as well.
Can't he recreate it as well?
No.
I think later he starts to.
If he could recreate, he wouldn't need to carry
I imagine he might be able to when after
Creation
episode
magic?
6. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that might be
episode 5. Sorry.
I think he does later, if I remember.
And not that I recall, but I don't know. It cuts to the group again of classmates, and they've gone to meet the king. And they've told the king about what happened in the dungeon, that they've lost one of God's heroes. And we get an introduction to Shizuku, who's the samurai girl.
Didn't like this chick.
Shizuku. She comes into her own later on.
As a character right now, she's kind of just very...
She's just best mates with Kaori at the minute.
Stereotypical kind of, I'm a badass samurai, and that's all you get. And
I do is train.
I don't really like that.
Yeah, that is essentially her character, really.
Although it does change later.
Ish. Like, she becomes perhaps part of the harem, but we'll see. So, she's best friends with Kaori. Kaori is refusing to listen to anybody at this point. She's like, we need to go back down. We need to see. I know he's alive.
Yeah, this is after she got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, so she gets knocked out, and then Shizuku looks after her while she's unconscious for a while. We'll come to it.
Yeah, scoop your friend up.
We get a very brief introduction to the world after this. So... I think it's Hajime who recalls it, or it might be Shizuku, sorry. Shizuku, while she's outside training, she recalls them coming to this world, that they were told that there was 3 races, the humans, the demons, and the beastmen. The beastmen don't do anything, apparently, so this war was between the human race and the demon race. But the demon race learnt how to control monsters, which then turned the tide of the war, because they could do their bidding through them. But the god of creation came along and stopped this and created or brought to the world heroes to help fight the monsters and the demons. This is what they were told when they entered the world, but this isn't actually the history of the world, which we'll come to. We also see the teacher, who was brought as well to the world. I like the fact that the teacher got brought as well. What?
I love that she's a farmer.
Yeah, agricultural specialist. So
Well, it kind of makes sense because she would have knowledge, I guess, of farming, and she ain't going to be doing
That's what she
anything.
teaches, but
She's
yeah.
absolutely got that buttery biscuit base.
No, I just meant like we all have a better knowledge of farming than what they would
Why,
have in the
because we're in
medieval time.
Norfolk?
No, just because we're more modern. We actually have more.
Jim, I would love to
information on
see you
technology.
fucking do any sort of
I
crop
bet you I
work.
could.
I bet you fucking couldn't.
Bet I
You could fix ecosystem.
I bet I could.
I bet you fucking could. I couldn't.
I could.
I'll
I could-
fucking say it right now.
I could pretend.
I could grow
With a
like
magic.
a tomato.
Oh, you know how to do rice fields and patties? And...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. You've heard it here first.
I could.
Jim's rice field in his back garden.
Look, if they gave me the tools, I could solve world hunger, but they haven't. So
All
yeah,
you need to solve world hunger
is all the money in the world.
is a good hoe. That's all you need.
I knew you were going. I was like,
No, you'll eat for a lifetime.
So Shizuku, we're back to Shizuku again. We see the sketchy guy walk past her, and he's muttering under his
Why
breath.
is he fucking talking to?
Nobody's-
Under his breath? Are we fucking kidding? He's announcing it to the world.
How would they know? They'll never know. How would they know?
nobody saw me kill that guy. Nobody saw me.
She doesn't seem to hear him, and is just like, "What are you doing? What are you saying?" He acts all sketchy and walks away. Kaori, she wakes up after being knocked unconscious after 5 days.
5 days.
Somebody needs to give her an MRI scan because
Seriously.
that's some serious brain damage
That's
right
a
there.
concussion.
That's more than a concussion.
That's knocked out. That's
She's
a
been in a
coma.
coma for 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
She wakes up. She's not happy about... The first thing she says is about Hajime. She's not happy that nothing's happened about Hajime. They haven't gone back down. They're not doing anything about it.
I mean, my first question would have been when they were like, "You've been out for 5 days." I'd be like, "What the fuck did you do to me?"
Where's the bedpan?
Ooh, yeah, I just realised you've been sitting there for
Who
5
has been
days.
washing me?
Have you physically
Someone's
moved
been
me
taking
to
her
shit
to the
myself
toilet.
over the
I
toilet?
guarantee you they didn't put a catheter in.
That's another one of Jim's inventions.
As well as agriculture, medicine.
Dr. Jim.
Dr. Jim.
Cut to Hajime again, and he has come across these ginormous doors in the labyrinth. He makes a nice little trope reference to Pandora's box as well, which I really liked. He says, like, perhaps like Pandora's box, I'll open this and there'll be hope inside.
I love that he got it right.
Yeah.
Most people that use Pandora's box get it wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll release all the evil. It's like, that's not what Pandora's box is about. It's about what's left in the box afterwards.
Yeah. Hope.
Yeah.
And I really like the reference. He gets to the door and he tries to open it with transmute and it doesn't work. The door has been trapped and it sets off the two ginormous colossal cyclopses that were standing either side of the door, obviously.
I fucking love that he absolutely KO'd one in like 5 seconds. It like opened its eye and he went, no. Just ended it.
See, that's what I mean. And he's like, "I'm not going to stand around while you two can blooming fight me as a team."
Yeah, instantly. As soon as it's formed, he's like, bang. He ends up getting the best of it, kills both the giants, and inside them, as they disintegrate, is these keys, which open the giant doors. He goes into this room. There's like stars across the scene. It's very Harry Potter-esque. And he sees this giant yellow cube in front of him. Yui is there, trapped inside. She wakes, and she says...
Yui Kirito's daughter thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the same name. Yui wakes up, and she says to him, "Please help me. I've been trapped here for I don't know how long."
And he fucks
And
off.
he's like, "Nope." He turns to leave, and she's like, "Please help me," and he won't help her. He's like, "No, there's a reason you're sealed in that cube, and I do not want to release you and find out why." Fair play. to him.
Yeah, fair play. No, that's absolutely right.
But Yui stops him and says, "Please help me. I was betrayed." Seems to be a trigger word for him because it happened to him.
It
and
would make sense that this is a trigger word for him.
It hits.
Hey, it
It
worked for
hits.
Trevor in GTA.
It hits close to. It did work. For Joe.
Yeah, you're right.
She tells him that she's a vampire, and the reason she was locked away is
Casual
because
conversation.
she's a royal vampire, and she has great power. And because of this great power, her
She's got
uncle,
great responsibility.
I was
Well.
about to say that.
her uncle deemed her too dangerous to keep around, and so sealed her away.
Good old
After she
Uncle
served
Ben.
her usefulness.
He didn't kill her because
can't
he
kill her.
can't, because she's immortal.
This annoyed me a little bit.
That she's immortal.
No, I didn't mind that she was immortal. It's later on, there's a sacrifice that happens, and she takes like 2 of those hits, regardless, and gets up again.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It annoyed me because he knew that she was immortal and has this.
So
healing
you're just going to stand there and let her take the hit and then be like, she'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Run her like
she
a
is
shield.
Stronger. She is
I thought you said rider like a shield.
like a shield.
Onward, noble steed!
Go on, do your work. Come on.
She has this great power of healing, and she can also manipulate mana. Or mana.
You know what she reminds me of?
What?
She's a broken character from a beta test of a video game that somehow managed to survive.
I do like Yui, and she does come... her character is really good.
She's a better vampire than
anything in
the
fucking...
Dance of the Vampire Button.
Fucking
Seriously.
hell. Yeah. Even though the was annoying.
The what?
Whenever she fed on him.
Oh. Yes.
You even...
That would really fuck me off.
Every time. I'm like, if you're going to just do it quietly.
So-
For fuck's sake.
Not my
You've
neck.
changed your fucking tune, haven't you?
So,
I want to be nom 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 by a vampire, don't get me wrong. Just not
he breaks Yui out of the
Rubik's Cube.
seal he breaks the seal.
No, don't put it like that. Don't put it like that. She's only 10,000 years old.
I was going to say thousands of years. Last of her kind. So
That we know of.
He then asks what her name is. She's like, you name me. My name doesn't matter anymore to me. I'd rather you named me. And he calls her Yui because it's to do with the moon.
Yeah.
And he said, when I entered the room, there were stars and you were there shining like the moon. So he names her Yui. Very nice. The episode ends with him being impaled by some giant spikes. Episode 3 opens with Hajime pouring holy water onto his back where the spikes have just impaled him, and they sort of just, like, pop out.
Well, she has to pull them out.
I thought they just
No,
fell
no,
out.
We
pulls them out.
really need to think about phrasing.
I'm pretty sure they fell out.
She whips them out.
She whips them out, gives them a good tug.
And the spikes were fired by the guardian of the room, who was there to guard Yui. It's a giant metal scorpion that can also fire off spikes. Hajime tries to use his gun. It doesn't work. So bullets don't pierce the metal hide of the scorpion. This is when Yui bites Hajime for the first time and feeds on him. By the way, right, this guy has suffered from blood loss already.
Yep.
And she's now sucking him with more blood.
Yep.
Which happens later on, but which we will get to as well, which I was a bit like, this guy can't have much left. Like...
I've got nothing left. He's just going to be a husk by the time that he's finished.
Yui gains enough energy from biting Hajime to fire off her Azure Blaze, a giant blue ball of fire. It almost works.
You're welcome.
She drops it on the scorpion. It crushes it a bit. Doesn't kill it. So she's like, Hajime's like, do it again. Can you fire it off one more time? She's like, I can, but it won't
for
be more
20 minutes,
powerful.
love.
He jumps in the air, lands on the scorpion, fires into it where he'd already shot before. Eventually he pierces through and he kills the scorpion. He sits down with Yui after the fight and she describes the fact that she is the last vampire. Her species were wiped out over 300 years ago, so she's been trapped for 300 years at least. But she's probably a lot older than that because she's immortal and she's been around for I don't know how long.
How does she know
Your
how long
Honor.
she's been down there? She said
Maybe
it's
she was
wiped out
still
300 years ago.
subconscious.
Maybe.
She seems to wake up rather quick as soon as somebody comes in.
I think you would. If you if like you hadn't seen somebody for like 300 years, you might go, oh, hold on, something's changed in this room.
I hear a noise.
I've counted every single star in this room. And
What were the tentacles?
What tentacles?
The green ones, when he enters the room, they just kind of vanish.
Oh, the wisps.
The wisps. Fuck
don't
off,
know.
wisps.
I don't know what
wisps,
they were.
They were tentacles. Roots at best.
My interest is piqued. She also tells him about the Mavericks. So they built the labyrinth, and it's not just the only maverick, this one. Apparently there's loads of mavericks and there's loads of labyrinths. This one...
6?
Yes, 6. They stood up to the gods, failed, built the labyrinth, hid. It's really simple.
As you do.
Hajime then builds an anti-material rifle / railgun. Mm-hmm. He decides that his little his revolver doesn't quite have enough juice in it to take down what he
just built a sniper from Halo.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Fucking love it.
Yes, he just built a ginormous
And then spray
railgun.
painted it black.
Yes.
Because he's dark and broody.
Because he's a broody fucker.
He then tells Yui why he's there, which I like the fact they glossed over.
Yeah.
They just
I don't
need it. As they're traveling down, he tells her his story, and at the end of it, she's like, "You know, when we get to the bottom, I've got nothing left. I've got no home," and he's like, "You can come home with me if you want." We cut back to his classmates up above. We find out that a small group of them are going to head back to the labyrinth. I guess they're not. It's not really to go and get him back, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
They're just heading back into the labyrinth to try and
They're
complete
just
it.
doing what they normally do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And putting this pseudo reason.
Well, nobody really mentions it apart from Kaori about the fact that she thinks he's still alive. And
I'm
she
going
wants
to find him. He's going to be alive.
Just behind her, like.
Yeah, people behind him just like, oh.
Realistically, you'd think he was dead, right? The guy's plummeted
he's
into a dark
100%
hole.
dead.
Yeah, right? You're like, the guy's dead, Kaori.
He did a whole fucking Gandalf thing of...
To be fair,
you
though,
fools.
to be fair, Sheenie's still here. And how many times has he plummeted into a dark hole?
You're not wrong.
And I'm stronger for it.
Immune.
He was betrayed.
You can't gain immunity. I'm patient 0. It's
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
This is a good point. What's the point in eating monsters when you are a monster?
My DNA is already twisted.
Fair.
So we cut back to Hajime and Yui. They're being chased by dinos
With flowers.
with a flower on their head. Hajime comes to the conclusion after seeing a dino earlier that didn't have a flower that was smushing flowers.
I like that.
These flowers must be parasites that have taken over the
That's
dinosaurs.
a leap right
It's a
there.
hell of
Isn't
a
it?
leap.
Maybe the dinosaurs just didn't like those flowers.
This is the moment when Yui, as he's running, is feeding on him constantly.
Oh, it's annoying.
How much would this fuck you off as you're trying to run for your life?
Yeah.
It would piss me off.
Just make one fucking bite and get what you need and fuck off.
You're immortal, right? Yeah.
you hold him off.
You got this.
He eventually finds a cave that it's got loads of like flowers growing around it, and he's like, that looks like a sus cave. Must be the boss's lair. Goes in. There, as he enters it, there are green spores floating around in the air, and one of them bumps against Yui and causes her to get a flower in her head. She shouts at Hajime, run, and then attacks him. So she's kind of not been taken over by the monster.
Maybe it's just motor skills. Takes over your motor skills.
I was really disappointed at the face of the flower monster because they give this
It
flower...
was a tough wank, I'll give you that.
They give this flower monster a rocking body.
I know, right?
And then the most
Like
hideous
fucking-
face.
That was an Elastigirl build, and you went, oh, and a Shrek head.
I did not expect you to say that.
Not my proudest wank.
But one nonetheless. I got there in the end, so it couldn't have been too bad.
Who's the real monster?
Hajime also gets hit with one of the spores, sprouts a flower, but it shrivels up and dies instantly, and he's like, I'm immune to this because of all the monster meat I've eaten. It just
But the
doesn't affect
monsters
me.
he's eaten aren't immune to it.
Yeah, well, I just guess he's built up an immunity to everything.
He's built different.
Eventually, it sort of captures Yui, and he's like, Yui shouts, just do it, just take the shot. And he's like, really? Oh, thanks. Fires, shoots the flower off of Yui's head, kills the monster. There's a little bit of a discussion between them where she's like, you shot at me. And he's like, well, yeah, but you said I could. He's like, I just needed permission, and then I was
Now,
going to do it.
to be fair,
conveniently, a giant staircase opens up. So she must have been the floor boss.
She must have been.
There must be floor bosses because
probably.
after defeating her, a giant staircase opens up in the floor and they descend.
Well, I imagine it's triggers from the Maverick.
This must
If
have
that
been
boss dies, those stairs drop.
Yeah, this must have been floor 99 because they descend and end up on floor 100.
How disappointed are you that a fucking flower is a fucking 99th boss?
Yeah, well, I
mean,
guess
it
she
had
was,
control of everything on that floor, so
Yeah.
you had to fight everything on that floor.
Great. So
or
it's a
just
hive
or do
mind.
what he did, run until you find the boss.
It's a lot of running.
That is,
Cardio,
faster
bitch.
than dinosaurs.
Well,
They-
he does have that haste step thing.
Quick step, yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually they descend, they get to floor 100. He's like, I know there's another challenge down here. They come to the big doors and he's like, I guarantee the final boss is behind these doors. And the episode ends with them going in.
Giant doors. I feel like there might be something dangerous behind these doors.
If that was British, that's someone looking up and going, bit ominous, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
You feel it in my jellies.
I feel it in my jellies.
We go into episode 4. Episode 4. They're on the 100th floor. They enter through those giant doors. They enter the room that's got like crystal columns all through it. And at the other end is another massive door. He's like, where's this boss? They walk in. A giant magic circle triggers. And it's a Hydra, right?
It's a Hydra.
Except it doesn't have that trope of curtain to appear. But it is basically a Hydra.
It's a Hydra.
It's a blue eyes.
It's a blue-eyed white dragon.
Yeah, it is.
Blue eyes ultimate dragon.
Well, yeah. It's got 5 heads.
But it has 5 heads. And each
That's
head
a 5-head play right
each
there.
each head has different attacks.
What does
As
the 5th one do? Because the big one that comes out at
There's
the end
electricity,
comes from the
fire, wind, hypnosis,
and guard.
healing, and guard.
That's 6.
Yeah, it had 6 heads, didn't it?
I thought it had 5.
I thought it had 6 heads. I could be wrong.
Oh no, it
But-
sucked as a boss.
but
all
anyway-
the bosses kind of sucked. Not
What do
what
you
they
mean
were.
it fucking sucked?
yeah,
This
maybe
thing
not-
was ridiculous.
Maybe not sucked, but the animation of it was poor.
You could tell that it was computer.
Yeah, they animated that boss poor. That was it though. But the white, so yeah, eventually he finds out the white head can heal the rest of them, and the yellow head defends the white head while the rest attack. They fight.
He loses pretty
Well-
badly at this.
At some point, Yui goes face to face with the hypnosis one, and it makes her feel like she's all alone again.
It does like a debuff on her.
Yeah, well, yeah, it just tricks her. It gives her a mind trick. But don't worry, because Hajime saves her and kisses her and breaks her out of that mind space that she's in.
True
And-
love heals all.
Well,
From the girl you met 2 days ago.
and now...
It's not been 2 days.
no,
It's
come
been
on,
a
they've
long
been together
time.
for months.
Months.
It is months because they had to. I mean, the guys that were going back into the
Well, you've got to think the 65th floor was the behemoth.
yeah.
He dropped God knows how many floors. God knows what floor Yui was on. So they don't give you a good timeline, but I bet it's not days. I bet it's longer than that.
It's a long.
Because look
time.
how long they spend when they actually get to the bottom floor as well.
2 months.
Yeah.
Also, the people that are on the main group,
Yeah.
they have to level up massively
Yes, to go back to
to
fight
go
the
back
behemoth.
to fight.
Yeah.
So, and there's only like 7 or 8 of them in that party. Then,
It's
isn't it?
whoever volunteered
No,
to go
there's
back
7 of 8 and a bunch of red coats.
Yeah,
That's what there is. Fucking
load of meat shields.
disposable uniforms. Just the ones with they're grey. You're
Yes.
grey. You're gonna die, mate.
in. Yes.
Yeah,
We
Fucking-
always
just-
need them.
If you're that guy, you're painting something on your chest, aren't
Cannon fodder.
you? Just so you're not the fucking cannon fodder. Like, no, I can't die. I'm blue. I'm not grey. I'm blue.
Blue. In fact, you stand out more and are going to die first.
I'm not going. I'm farming.
He's pretending
Farming
to farm.
simulator. He played it once. He's an expert.
Hey, Hajime, can you make me a tractor? It made my life so much easier.
pulling this fucking plow around. You know we
I
have
love
horses.
the fact they have horses, but he's
We
pulling
have-
the
He's
plow.
pulling it. He's pulling
It's
it.
just a guy whipping him.
Jim's the cow. He's the heifer.
Back glistening in the sun.
No, whip me again, Daddy.
Master.
Master.
Anyway, it's time for the railgun. Yui plays the distraction. He goes in with the railgun. It tries to mind trick Hajime, and he just laughs it off, and he's like, "You think that'll work on me?" It doesn't. He fires the railgun.
So broody.
No, it's more
Oh,
of
that's
like
shit already.
it is sort of like, what are you going to do that's going to be worse than what I had before?
Yeah. He fires his railgun. Huge explosion. Two of the monster heads, they get attacked and dropped. They think they've won, and then out of the ashes rises the white head.
When the body fell, it looked like a piece of armor.
Yes.
I thought he was going to have a piece of armor.
I thought he was just going to walk straight up to him and go...
Num, 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 num.
I mean, you'd try.
Yeah, well, yes. The white one's still alive. It fires at Yui, and for some reason, I guess it's beyond being able to heal the other heads. They've been completely turned to ash. It fires at Yui. Hajime jumps in front of her, the immortal being that she is.
Well, there was a healing one, and they've taken out the healing head.
No, the white head is the healing head.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the white head
I
was the
guess
healing
they
head, yeah.
destroyed all the other heads so much that it just
Yeah.
couldn't heal it.
Or it would just take a long time.
Hajime takes the hit, and Hajime goes down.
Do 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 do. Even flashing red on the sides of the screen.
Yui puts up a giant force field and tries to drag him out of the way. She desperately tries to pour holy water down his throat by using her throat.
That's the way that works.
Just pour it in his mouth.
Well,
Shake it up a
what
bit.
difference does it make if you were
None.
to pour directly, or
None.
are you like water
I'll tell you the
streaming it
difference.
in, or
I will
one will
tell
drown
you
you,
the
I
difference.
would guess.
It's a court case.
I
That's the difference.
was just giving her fluids.
I'm a CPR, I swear.
She looks thirsty.
She said he was thirsty.
He doesn't.
Twice in 2 weeks.
He doesn't get back up. So Yui takes his revolver, runs head on at the monster, gets absolutely eviscerated by a blast.
I love that. I love she went to play the hero as an immortal being and got handed.
But luckily for her, Hajime has regained consciousness.
After he hears her cry.
He hears her cry and he's like, "Don't cry, Yui." He gets back up. For some reason, he's got more powerful.
He's leveled up.
He's
dead.
faster. And he's like, "Oh, all these shots are so slow." Yui then feeds on him again to gain her strength. Right, this guy has suffered severe blood loss.
He's lost an eye right now.
Severe blood loss. And now she's feeding on him.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
She is still a vampire, so if she sees blood, I guess it's
It-
like... nim, nim.
It cuts to
She's the
him.
worst vampire ever. She has so
No,
much
no, 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 no.
control.
I'm sorry, you cannot say that after what we saw the other
That's
week.
very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
It cuts back to him when he was laying on the floor, and you hear him give himself a pep talk, and then he gets this power boost somehow.
You can do it. Rip his fucking head off.
And his plan is he flies around, shoots holes into the ceiling, which he then throws grenades into, which he detonates. It brings the ceiling down onto the monster. He uses transmute to seal it into this seal.
Seal it into the ceiling.
Yeah. And then Yui drops a ginormous azure blaze on top of it.
Those shots and those bullets were the most plottiest bullets I've ever seen.
Accuracy.
He shot a hole big enough that it would hold a grenade when he threw it.
But not
into
fall
it.
out, yeah.
Fucking horseshit is that?
Maybe they were sticky grenades.
The sticky grenades, yeah.
The
that's
monster's
what that
dead.
is.
Hajime goes down again because he's very tired. He's had enough.
He's got no blood left.
He's got no, yeah, basically, yeah. It cuts to the teacher from the class back again. We've gone back to the surface. She's having a go at the king, saying,
I thought
"My
he
students."
was a god that brought them there.
No, he's a king. We haven't met a god. That's the king of the land.
Okay.
She's having a go at him, saying, "My students will not fight anymore. One's already died. That's it. I'm their teacher. I'm here to protect them."
You don't understand. The next parent-teacher conflict is going to be absolutely horrific.
And the king's like, "I'll cut you a deal. Only those that volunteer to go back will go back. And all those that wish to stay can stay." And the teacher's like,
No. Should we know?
"Okay, fine." And he's like, we would, if we lose your expertise on agriculture,
We're done. We're
Our
done.
lands would be fucked.
Hundreds of thousands of years of surviving, and we're done without
But you don't understand. You've given us rice, and now we can't live without it. It cuts to Cowrie. She's back down in the labyrinth again. She's part of the group that volunteered to go in, obviously. And the episode ends with them just heading back down the dungeon. And we go into episode 5. It opens with Hajime. He's waking up. He is in this lush double bed. And next to him is a naked Yui. And he's sort of cupping her very gently.
Cupping her.
He is cupping her behind. And he's basically like, what's going on? Why am I in this bed? Why am I naked? Why are you naked? Why are we here?
That's a lot of questions to
They have-
answer.
they have-
All of them are relevant.
Irrelevant.
Where your clothes at?
They have made it to the Maverick's lair. Yui dragged him there after he passed out.
How fucking strong is she to drag him?
She's a vampire. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And within this lair, they wander around, and it's got forests. There's a day and night.
It's very nice.
There's rivers and streams and
I'm chilling
fish
here.
and-
I'd have just been like,
I'm chilling here.
yeah, and a giant
good enough.
mansion.
Guess what?
Well, this is my life
Yeah.
now.
I'm the
Good
new floor boss.
Yeah, good.
I'm the floor boss.
You've got to defeat the final boss, Jim.
And my farming skill.
He'll crop your head off.
There's also a beautiful giant natural hot spring down there as well. Bath. You're staying here.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing up there
Natural.
for me anymore.
There's a lion throwing up hot water. What do you mean natural?
But it's come from a deep spring within
Is
the
that
earth.
what it is?
That's
All
what
right.
all natural hot springs are.
Oh no, that's what a natural hot spring
Yeah.
is. This one's coming from a lion's mouth.
So
It's only natural.
he says to Yui, "Have you been around?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been around the mansion, and I can't get in any of the doors. Most of them are locked. They're magically sealed, and I can't get in." So he's like, "Let me go and have a look." So he wanders
Typical
around.
man answer,
He
that,
wanders-
ain't it? Let's have a fucking look.
Do you know what? It's like,
Or is your jar
have you
not
ever stood?
open?
Have you ever stood at a cash machine, right? And the person in front turns around to you and goes, "Oh, it's broken. It's not working." Walks off, and you go, "I'm gonna look
gotta
just to
look."
make sure." And you go up, and it says "out of order," and you're like, "He was telling the truth," as if they were trying to trick you.
He's
So-
taking all the fucking money out of this thing, isn't he?
So he goes around the mansion and he comes across this room that Yui seemed to miss when she was wandering around.
What, the one with the big doors.
She's
Yeah.
only had a couple of days to explore. She hasn't had that much.
No, she's been in bed with him. for a couple of days.
Ew.
He finds this room, and in this room there's a giant magical circle, and he turns to Yui and he's like, "The minute I step into this, be prepared. We don't know what to expect." Steps on it, room lights up, there's a skeleton in the chair, clearly the remains of the Maverick that used to live there.
It's the cleaner.
He meets... It's the cleaner.
It's the cleaner.
No.
Oh, it's our guy.
There's no here.
It's our guy. He got a job in the bottom of the dungeon,
Mavericks
But
all
he was-
dead.
but he was left all on his own, no food.
I
The
ran
fact
out-
that there's fish in the stream.
Ran out of lemon pledge.
No more Jiff, mate.
And he meets Oscar. Oscar the Maverick.
Oscar the Maverick.
Oscar.
I fucking love that. His name is Oscar.
Oscar has left a recording of himself to whoever may stumble upon the bottom floor. It cuts from Oscar. We're back to Cowrie and the group. They've made it to the 65th floor and they're back at the bridge again. The behemoth has respawned, and there's a brief description saying, "We don't know the respawn time on monsters down here, but clearly this one's respawned." But this time the group are more determined.
I'd be so pissed
They're more
off.
skilled up.
I'd be so pissed off.
I'd
You've
be
destroyed
pissed.
this fucking monster, and then it's back again.
I'd be pissed because is this a video game or a fucking world?
It's a video game. I bet it is.
But well, the
Where
bridge
it's
is
like,
fixed. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess the Maverick has built this labyrinth to
Great, then we're playing Ready Player One
or just
just a
with a
simple...
great and powerful Og.
Sword Art Online
Yes.
inside a dungeon.
This is Sword
That's
Art.
it.
This is
Yeah.
Sword Art with fucking...
Well, the labyrinth
Slime.
itself is, yeah.
So
So
yeah, the labyrinth is.
And he's the slime. He absorbs everyone's power by fucking eating him.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, essentially. So the group managed to kill the behemoth easily now because they've leveled up enough. They're more skilled. They take the behemoth down. Cut back to the Maverick Oscar. He describes to Hajime the fact that why he built the dungeon. He's like, "I'm going to give you all of my knowledge of this world,
Base.
and I'm also going to give you all of my power."
He gets all of that guy's memories.
And he says to him, he's like, the only thing I ask of you is to not use everything I'm giving you for evil. It's your first sign that, hold on a minute, I thought the Mavericks were supposed to be evil, and now he's saying, don't use what I give you for evil.
I'm sorry, nobody that has a lovely place like that is evil.
And his
place is lovely, right?
This man tends to his gardens.
Yeah.
He must be good.
He must be good.
Look, I'm sorry, but
The fact that he built a 100-floor dungeon to kill people
Yeah.
on their way down.
to
No.
test.
I'm sure
people.
Vlad the
It's a
Impaler's fucking house was nice. It's
a
still,
test.
you had to go through fucking 1,000 heads to get to it.
No. Look, evil people have like stone floors and like lairs.
Yeah, a
Stone-
lair.
Stone floors.
Usually.
Stone floors are evil. Everybody in Europe is evil.
No, it's got a wooden floor. This is laminate. He's a good guy.
He's a good man.
Where do we stand on carpet?
We're stood on carpet. This is the middle ground. This is holy ground. This is an equal terrain for everybody.
He absorbs the memories of the Maverick and the powers of the Maverick. And one thing he says after absorbing it is that he's like, the Mavericks were liberators. And that's all he says at the moment.
And this guy jagged it a lot when he was down here.
He was very bored. That lion looked good after a few hundred years.
The fish in the stream. They've seen some shit.
Cod kebabs.
I wasn't thinking about that.
The reason their mouth is shaped like that.
However, constant shock. However, Hajime, after gaining all this, still hasn't changed what he wants to do. He still wants to go home. He's got no interest in everything he's learned.
Yeah, I did like that. Oh my god, I've got all this information. Fuck that.
Yeah,
We're going home.
what he has gained is he's gained creation magic, and he can now make artifacts.
He can make a sweet Hummer.
He also sends Yui off to learn it as well.
Well, read the
But he
books
says
and
that
stuff,
she can't particularly... She can't master it anyway, but he's like, it's
She can
handy
read
to
it
know.
and understand it,
Yeah.
but not do it.
He says just gain knowledge on it at least. Because I guess then she can help him if his knowledge falters. He goes around, he loots the mansion, and then he turns to you and he's like, perhaps we should stay here for a little while. I've got all these new powers, but I haven't used them yet. So we'll stay here. I'll learn all these new skills. I'll master what I've learned, and then we'll leave.
And there's loads of new books as well. He's
Yeah.
like, there's loads of information here. We need to get all this information before we start.
And there's loads of
tackling
loot.
anything.
There's a
And the
room.
workshop.
There's a room full of artifacts
Yep.
as well. So there's a little bath scene. We can gloss over that. He's in
Yeah.
the bath. She joins him. He makes
Nothing but political on this.
He makes a new arm for himself, big metal arm. He makes a car, a Hummer. He makes. He creates a magical crystal eye.
He
that
makes, he makes an Akira bike.
Why does he put the crystal eye in, but then cover it anyway?
It's a good question.
I'd have that on show.
It's a good question.
No.
That is like a talking piece.
That's a conversation starter.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
what that is.
Yeah. What happened to your eye? Oh, this thing. Didn't think you'd notice.
How I Met Your Mother.
Let me tell you all about how my life got flipped upside down.
I knew you were going to go there.
He also makes Yui a couple of miniguns as well. Well, they're not miniguns. They're like magic firing guns things. I don't know.
Minigun would be better.
He does make a minigun as
That
well.
makes a minigun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's a
see them.
minigun. Absolutely there.
And he also gives Yui a ring for some reason. I guess that's to solidify their relationship.
Well, he's just taking the advance of Beyonce. That's all he's doing.
Well, he put a ring on it. 2 months pass, and he decides that he's learnt enough and it's time to leave.
I'm loving the glossing over this shit. I'm loving it.
That's brilliant.
No
Don't drag it
montage,
out.
nothing.
Don't drag it
Nothing.
out. You
Don't
get a
waste
small
time.
montage of him making a few bits of equipment. Done.
He's got
But
some
equipment
sweet
that's going
threads
to
as
come
well.
up later.
Yes, yeah, relevant.
love
Hey, he's got some sweet threads as well.
He
that he's
fucking-
made.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
made both of them outfits.
I'm
They're
loving
awesome.
that the vampire has got the fucking frilly,
Yeah.
the frilly cuffed fucking shirt.
And episode 5 ends with them teleporting from the dungeon back to the surface. Episode 6 opens with our introduction to Shea, Bunny Girl. She is waiting in a canyon when a dinosaur appears. It attacks her, and as she's running away from it, a magic circle opens up, and Hajime and Yui drop from the circle, and the dinosaur runs away. Shea has been expecting them because she needs their help. That's what she says. We find out that she obviously has this future sight thing, and that's why she knew that they would be there. She needs them to save her family. Now, from what I gathered, her story is that she was driven from her village because she was part monster. She has these powers. And the group that she lives with now are ones that went with her into the forest.
They were going to kill her, so part of the tribe went,
Split.
no, we'll go with you, and now
We'll
they're
live in the
fucked.
forest.
And now they're
The
fucked.
horrendous forest full of monsters.
And now they're fucked.
Yeah. Hajime is not interested. He does not want to help her at all. He's like, I've got my own things to worry about. I can't worry about saving your family.
Even points a gun at her. It's just like,
Well, the dinosaur appears again, and she's like, run away. It'll kill you. And he just takes it down with one shot.
did that thing just roar?
I believe it did. Shea, however, won't give up on it. It's for her family. She grabs hold of him. She's like, I'm not going to stop. I need your help. Eventually, he agrees to listen, and he's like, at one point, he's like,
Did you like the? Would you leave a poor damsel, a beauty like me? Yes.
well, he's like,
No, it's a
someone
Yui's fucking
someone
hotter
thinks
than you.
highly of themselves. When Yui is far more attractive than you are, and she's like, yes,
You're
but
wrong. You're wrong, mate. You're wrong.
she's like, yeah, but I have one thing over Yui. I have
Two
this,
sets of ears.
I have this. Well, she says, I have this figure, this womanly figure with large chest, and he turns away, and she's
Not
like,
wrong.
why are you turning away? Are you embarrassed? Which pisses Yui off.
No, I think she's going to kill you. I think that's what you even says around to her.
She tells Hajime that her tribe are having monster trouble,
Oh, I'd give her monster trouble.
so he makes them.
You got one.
He,
All right, you got one.
so he agrees
You're
to
on
help.
a warning.
He agrees to help. He makes the Tron bike. They get on it and they head off to her village.
Did you say this looks like Akira's bike?
Yes, it does.
Do you mean Canada's bike from Akira?
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like it.
I
Yes,
think
does.
it looks like a Tron bike.
It looks like a Tron bike.
Yeah. She also tells him that
Akira's bike you sit in like a normal seat.
No,
A
but
Tron
it still
bike you're
looks
like laid down.
yeah, the ceiling thing for him was that she said he's looking for the magic tree, and she says it's surrounded by a fog and it's full of monsters, and she will help guide him to the magic tree if he helps her. So he's like, I still don't want to help her, but Yui turns around and goes, I think we should help. So he agrees. As they're riding to the village, they get attacked by they're like pterodactyl things, aren't they? Flying monsters. And he throws
Power Rangers turn up.
Shea into the air as bait so that he can take down the monsters. They kill them all, and they get to the forest and they meet the tribe, and he's like, okay, I'm going to help you all, but you're all too weak. So I'm going to help you guys help yourselves. So he goes around first and he eliminates all the surrounding monsters for them. And he forms packs with other beings that live in the forest. I think we see some elves.
We do see
at
some
some
elves,
point.
yeah.
He forms a pack with the elves, and he also kills some of the beastmen
Some
that were in the
orcs.
forest. And Yui agrees to train Shea. You see Shea and Yui fight a little bit, and Shea manages to land a hit on Yui, who then quickly covers it up and is like, no, you didn't actually touch me. You also see him train in the village, and they...
Are useless
well,
for a start. They are useless.
they're just softies.
They get
They're
beaten by a
bunnies.
rabbit.
They're bunny people.
Yeah.
And eventually eventually the bunny people get swole,
They do. And their voices get deeper.
and they become these fucking like hardcore killers.
And there's a point where they're like, yeah, maybe we've pushed this too far.
No, he's like,
No,
he's fine with it.
I was watching it expecting him to be like, all right, mate, calm down.
No,
he's just
fully-
like-
he's like, well done.
Be better.
There's also a point where Shea turns around and says she wants to join them, Yui and Hajime's like, why would you want to join us anyway? And she says, because I'm in love with you, Hajime. Start of a harem.
Here we go.
I don't hear any complaints from the other side of the table, though, about the first one to be
I don't want a
added.
harem. I just want the bunny girl.
I just want to wait until you meet the dragon.
I don't need...
Oh, the dragon!
Wait until you meet the dragon.
Bunny
Yeah,
girls are my-
you'll
There's a
like the
dragon
dragon.
girl.
It's my jam.
It's the
You'll like the
girl.
I don't care
dragon.
about
And
dragon
then
girl.
in season 2, there's a mermaid.
I don't care about mermaids.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Anyway, they head to the great tree. They get to the great tree. There's a stone tablet outside of it. He places the ring in one of the slots
As you would on
and
a bunny
finds
girl.
out that this door will only open once 4 symbols are collected. I thought it was all like 8 rings or 6 rings, but they then mentioned 4 symbols. And then he mentions that he has to also gain the power of regeneration as well. So he needs the power of regeneration. He needs to collect 4 symbols. However, there's 6 ring or like 8 ring
There's
slots.
6 slots.
Yeah, there's 6
But it
ring
says
slots.
4.
But he says, 4.
You just need a majority vote. That's all that is.
But yeah, maybe you only need 4 of the 6 labyrinths.
Yeah. This reminds me, right, of the Ocarina of Time, the tree from Ocarina.
Yeah,
of
well,
Time.
it's quite unique, isn't it? Because obviously they're like, he's going to revisit this. Season 3, 4, he'll come back to the tree.
I imagine it'll be 5. 1 per floor.
Yeah.
One per dungeon,
potentially.
sorry. And
well,
then...
no, because he finishes 2 dungeons in the first season.
I haven't got that fucking
Sorry,
far yet.
but I'm just saying.
Spoilers?
I'm just saying.
Fucking hell!
Maybe it's 2 per season.
Maybe.
Or
Then
maybe
there's
there's
3
3
seasons.
A big bad at some point
Maybe.
that changes the game.
So he says, like, okay, it's clear now that I have to beat all the labyrinths to get through the tree. The bunny people turn around to him and are like, please, master, let us come with you. And he's like, no, the best thing you can do is to keep training so that you can be of use to me when I come back. Because
I'll
they're like,
use you
did you
at
hear
some
that,
point."
everyone? We have to keep training for master until he comes back. I can only imagine what they're going to be like, by the way, when
fucking
he returns.
hench.
They're probably going to be like monsters
Murder
themselves.
cult by the
Murder
time they
cult.
come back.
A murder cult.
There's a small flashback to Shea when she was young, and she's upset about the fact that she's got these powers and people see her as a monster.
Her mum.
And her mum comforts her and says that she's special. And the episode ends with all 3 of them setting out to find the next labyrinth. That is our 6 episodes. How are we feeling about the anime so far?
I'm having fun. I'm having fun with
It's
this.
good, right?
I'm having fun with it.
It's one of my
good.
favourite ones.
Nothing in this is original at all, but it's the best part of everything.
Yeah, but it's the tropes as well. All the
Yeah.
stuff that he says.
They just
And
done
just-
things a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so streamlined that you don't even give a fuck that our main character is just Kirito in a bad mood and
Yeah.
he's got the powers of a slime because it's just so fun.
It is fun. It is just a fun anime. The characters are fun. Like, so far, Shea, we've only seen her, obviously, for episode 6, but what a brilliant character
Yeah.
they've introduced there.
The exact
this
opposite of a
quirky
vampire
pain
girl.
in the ass.
Thing is, I've seen this before, and I know what's coming up as well, and it just gets better.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
genuinely
love that
does.
everyone else is running around with knives and she's got a mallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't love that.
He makes
Fucking
her
Hammer
like a
Bros.
whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
but it's so cartoony.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. Because he's got his revolver. Yui's a vampire who,
Yeah.
for some reason, has these ginormous fucking guns that hang from her sides later on. But, like, it's just fun so far.
It's just fun.
And I just liked the fact that he fell into this pit and he just got really angry and started eating monsters. And
Fuck this world.
And
It's
short
so
of the
good.
first episode, the pacing is so bang on.
yes,
So fucking
100%.
right.
They gloss over everything they need
That
to
you
gloss
don't need,
over.
we don't need to know that. We know. It's said in fucking conversation, and we don't need to know that 2 months have passed, except for the sentence.
Yeah.
It's been 2 months.
The 100th floor boss was meh, only because
Yeah.
of the animation.
Yeah.
I think if they'd animated the fight better and had the monster animated better, I like the monster. 5-headed, different heads do different things. I like that.
yeah.
Just animate it a little bit better.
That's a
they
stereotypical
sort
video
of
game boss. It's
skipped
just-
out, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think that the start that you're on about, where it's a little bit jumbled in that first episode, I can forgive that.
I
Because
can
again,
forgive it.
I think
I
they...
will change it.
It
I just-
still pulls you in with him
Yeah.
being in this pit.
Oh, yeah.
No,
and-
I wasn't invested till episode, the end of episode 2, maybe beginning of episode 3. I was not invested in the
Okay.
show at all, just because it is just a
So
mess.
maybe when he stumbled across
I
Yui was
honestly-
when you sort of...
I exited the video a few times and was like, have I skipped episodes? Is this like season 2 or something? And,
Okay.
and I'm on episode 1 of that. It doesn't feel right. It's so poorly laid out.
Well,
It's
the
a bit
first two.
disjointed, the first one.
Yeah. And it's just that episode. The rest of it is fucking fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
having a great time.
Yeah, yeah. It is phenomenal. They don't even spend loads of time with him killing monsters and eating them.
Nope. And
they
they
establish it, and then that's it. That's all you need to know.
It does the sword art thing as well, where it's like stats are there, but they mean fuck all really. But
He barely
we'll
brings
pretend
them up.
that they exist.
He barely brings them up.
But in a world like this, you don't mind that it's done that way. In sword art, you want the explanation. In this, you're like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't
But
want it.
We know he's a fucking boss.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it.
It's also good that the classmates above are so bothered about leveling up and training and skills and stuff, and he's down there like, if I level up, I level up. I'm just gonna kill and eat shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
And
I will get powerful, but I'm not gonna fucking track it, and it's gonna be the everything for me.
And the thing is, as well, after 6 episodes, It's the fact that he's now out of the dungeon and they're like halfway down, not even like halfway down. And
he's gone through.
Yeah, and he's through.
Yeah.
And also the fact that...
He's beat the boss.
Yeah. Also the fact that he's now, outside of it, I've got that tension build of like...
When he crosses
their path again. What's going to happen?
When the class meet him again.
If, right now, after 6 episodes, as someone that's not seen it, his class are heading down and he's on the outside again. Obviously,
there are some that have obviously remained.
Obviously, but the ones in there are either going to die, or they're going to get through, or they're going to turn around.
It would have been really good if they'd eventually made it to the 100th floor and he'd left a fucking letter or something at the bottom, and they just been
just
like,
2 middle fingers.
What? It's just a letter to all my schoolmates. Fuck you.
To the guy that killed me, eat shit.
Eat shit and die.
I'll see you up on the. I'll see you on the surface.
I'll be seeing you soon. Kiss, kiss.
Kiss,
XOXO.
Yours sincerely, kick-ass boss mode, man.
I suggest you stay at the 100th floor and never come back to the surface.
I mean, to be fair, if that letter was there and I looked around and I saw the floor, I was like, yeah, all right, I'll stay down there. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm staying.
Here's a revolver with 1 bullet for you.
Pistols and all. Yeah, no, 6 episodes and it's already
it's good.
Better than most isekais.
Yeah.
It really is. Better than most isekais.
I just feel it's more streamlined and it gets to more of the hard-hitting points of what you want to see.
It knows what it is.
Yeah.
It knows
Voice
it's hitting
acting's fine.
tropes. Your voice acting, it's
Fine.
really... It's
he doesn't have to be too expressive.
No, it's not amazing, but it's not bad. And at no point do you go, ooh, or at no point do you go, wow. It's just, it's there.
Yeah.
He's the straight man character. Now, that doesn't normally work as like the main character.
Now, yeah, but he's established what he wants, and he wants Yui.
Exactly.
And they've already sort of established that with the ring and everything, and their relationship. They spent so much time together now.
Yeah.
And obviously in that interaction with Shea, he's made it very clear that he's not interested in Shea. Yes, okay, she's attractive, and any guy's going to buy into that. But he's like, Yui. That's all he's interested in. So they've established that, even though they're going to create this harem, which they will, he's only got those eyes for one.
Yeah,
which is brilliant. Because that's not your class. At least he's not bumbling his way through like all other fucking harems.
I don't notice that I've got a harem, or I'm glad I've got all these girls. It's never I only want one of these and the rest are just trying.
I know the rest want me, but I only want the one.
So far, everybody that he has joined them for a reason, that he's helping them.
Yeah.
And they've decided to stay around, not because he's like...
I mean, you're joining him.
Yeah.
If you're meeting him, you're like, I'm joining this guy.
God,
Gatling
hi.
Yeah, literally, this guy's so powerful. Like,
I want a Hummer.
I want my own Tron bike.
Look, I've been pulling this plough. You might as well give me a blooming Jeep.
So on that note, it's time for us to chuff off. All you summoners can join us next time, where we finish Arifureta with episodes 7 to 12. If you've got any questions or queries, or just want to see what we're up to, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at How Not to Summon, or join our Discord at How Not to Summon a Podcast, or go to our website at hownottosummon.com. I've been Sheeny Senpai.
I've been Jim.
I've been Grayson.
See you later.
See ya.
Ta-ra.
Buddy girls.
Buddy girls.
Focus.